Scary stories. Who likes them? Me? You? Yep, that's right, both of us. Alright, so today, less yapping from me, more yapping from someone else. But before we get started, click that subscribe button.
Number 1.
You know what keeps me up at night is back in January, my daughter came into our room. I'm like 7 months pregnant at this point. She comes into our room freaking out. And she's like, Mommy, I need you to sleep with me. I can't sleep. And she's like adamant about it. And I'm not letting her sleep with us because she kicks and I'm pregnant. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. So I was like, you know what? I'll come lay with you until you fall asleep. And then, I'll go back to bed. So we go in there and I notice her shades up and she jumps on the bed and slams the shades down really fast. And I was like, what are those doing up anyways? And she's like, I forgot to close them when I was playing earlier today. And I'm like, I should have checked that, but I didn't. And I'm like, okay, let's lay down, let's get in the bed and lay down. And she's like, okay, I'm not sleeping by the window. I'm like, okay, I guess I am. So I'm laying there with her and I'm like, okay, so do you want to talk about what your dream was about? Like why you're freaking out? And she goes, I wasn't sleeping. I was like, okay, do you want to talk about what you saw? And she goes, yeah. So I can't sleep very well right now because there was a blue alien man outside my window talking to me. I was like, okay. And she goes, yeah. And he wasn't like talking to me with his mouth. He was like talking without moving his lips. Okay. She goes, yeah, his eyes were really weird. They didn't look like our eyes. They were very different. And I just can't sleep now. I'm like, yeah, well, after that, who's going to freaking sleep? And I'm like, I ain't sleeping in here. I'm looking over my shoulder looking for a blue alien man. And I did end up sleeping in there because I was terrified that a blue alien man was going to grab her through the window. So, anyways, fast forward now. A couple weeks after January, like when that happened, 2 weeks later. And she comes in my room again. She was like, Mommy, I can't sleep because the aliens keep watching me sleep. I'm like, anyways, this is ongoing for like weeks at a time, okay? She still talks about it. Fast forward to tonight, tell me why there is a viral video out right now about a little girl talking to blue aliens. She's in communication with blue aliens. I never believe my daughter until it's too late. I never believe. And you think I would learn my lesson. If you guys have seen any of my past videos about her, we've had experiences with this little girl since she was 2 years old. And I always let's just, ignore it. So anyways, we're at the point now where she will not sleep in her bed. She has the shutters closed, but she sleeps on the floor. She said that they won't bother her if she's on the floor and not by the window. I don't even know how I let her sleep in there, let alone now, after seeing that video. How am I going to let her sleep in there knowing that there is another little girl in another state doubling down on what she said? I can't catch a break.
Number 2.
I've seen a few videos on it, and I really want to talk about my experience with the Old Man of the Lake. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Old Man of the Lake. It is a 450-year-old hemlock stump that has been floating around upright like this in Crater Lake for, documented, the last 130 years, but potentially longer than that. It's said that the old man has a spirit. He does not like being tracked by GPS. 3 attempts to track him have all failed because he moved in, stayed in one place and waited for the GPS to die, and then went on his merry way. They like changed the battery on the GPS, and then he did it again, and it died, and they were like, we're just gonna give up. Back in the 80s, they were doing an experiment in the water with a submarine, so they tied the old man to Wizard Island, and the next day, it, stormed out, and the day after that, it kept storming, and on the third day, in August, it started snowing, so on the fourth day, they untied the old man, and the weather, perfectly clear after that. It's so stable, you can stand on it. They used to, actually. There's pictures of people, standing on it. It doesn't bob in the water. It stays perfectly upright like that, and it doesn't go up and down. It just stays in one place, and it doesn't turn at all. It's perfectly stable. Any videos you watch this, you'll see the waves moving around it, but it doesn't move. There's no currents that push it, it just moves against the current. And when I saw this in person, this is a picture that I took on the boat right next to the old man, and it kind of felt like I was being observed. Not like it was staring at me, that feeling you get when somebody's watching you. It wasn't like it was staring at me. It was more like as I was observing it, I was also being observed from an external force. I'm not much of a spiritual man. That was eerie. If you've seen the old man at the lake, post your photo in the comments. I'd love to see him. This, one of my favorites that I've taken this year. Gonna be posting it on Instagram soon so you can see the full wide version.
Number 3.
Reino Magico is an abandoned amusement park in Veracruz, Mexico, that is home to a Snow White statue that has become the center of eerie legends. Built in 1988, the park was allegedly constructed over a former cemetery, which some believe contributes to the area's paranormal activity. During its operating days, many people reported feeling a negative vibe while in the park, especially when they were near the Snow White statue. There was also a lot of reports from people using the pool, stating that they felt a pair of hands trying to pull them underwater. After permanently closing its door, the abandoned theme park became a popular place for ghost hunters. Visitors and urban explorers have reported witnessing the Snow White statue blinking or moving on its own, with various videos circulating online that appear to capture these unsettling movements. These accounts have led to widespread speculation that the statue is haunted, enhancing the park's reputation as a site of supernatural intrigue.
Number 4.
If you still don't believe the story about the time traveler that went into my shed, disappeared, and then came back in the future, this video is going to change your mind. There's so much evidence supporting this theory. This guy named Matty Ice, he's been looking into this a lot. It's funny because he actually made a skit on part 1, kind of making fun of me, but now he's come around to actually looking into this because this is real. So he's been looking into this story and he found some crazy evidence. To start this off, I don't support reaching out to anybody's families or anything like that. This is all speculative, but evidence kind of makes sense. So what he did is he did a reverse image search and he found this guy who looks pretty similar to our boy here. The crazy part is this guy was obsessed with time travel. And you can see 9 years ago, he used to post on blogs talking about time travel and how it works. So he graduated from Harvard University, which is, obviously impressive. So this guy knew his stuff. He was obsessed with time travel and he looks like our guy. So it's okay, it's probably him then, right? This guy died in 2018, 6 years ago, which by the way, how is 2018 6 years ago? That's crazy in its own. But 6 years ago, this guy died, but he looks the same. He was obsessed with time travel. We also found this, which is family members saying they miss him and that they, love him and stuff like that in November 2018. We also found this, which is the same thing talking about his death, July of 2017. So this one also says he died in July of 2018, but then they posted in 2017. It's possible that they edited this text to, give him a shout out how he passed away. Maybe his picture was posted beforehand, but still a little fishy, right? It was in 2017 saying, he died in 2018, but whatever. He also found this interview notes, which I guess he was interviewed and somebody took notes of the interview. And in this interview, he was talking about his obsession with sound and time travel and how everything like that works in another dimension. This is all speculative. I didn't do any of this research. This is all Matty Ice. But this is crazy because there's a lot of coincidences. This guy looks the same. He was obsessed with time travel. He died. Somebody commented about his death a year before it happened. Mentioned that maybe the body wasn't found. I don't know how accurate that part is. But coincidences going back to this guy who looks like our time traveler. So yeah, pretty crazy. I definitely urge you not to reach out to this guy's family. They probably don't want to talk about this. I know if I had a family member pass away, I wouldn't want somebody calling me about this. But yeah, pretty interesting. Tag me if you guys find any more info on this.
Number 5.
What I'm ready to show you is why you don't go roaming around Appalachia unprepared. Right here is the reason why when you're out in the mountains in Appalachia, if something calls your name, you don't respond. If you hear something whistle, you never whistle back. And why you always close your curtains at night. You guys know my theory, and I don't go into detail in every video I post, but I believe all of these paranormal beings, which according to culture, I think people would refer to this as maybe a Wendigo or Wendigo. But at the core, I believe it's just another paranormal entity that is demonic, but it takes this form, a Wendigo. They are known to be having a craving for human flesh. So this is out roaming around in Appalachia and many other places. Take a closer look. You can see this thing. He walks bipedal like a human on 2 legs. Very long arms with what could be claws, long claws, and the elongated head, nose, glowing eyes. It's definitely not human. It's not a deer. It's not a bear. So I want to know what you think. If you have any kind of paranormal story, picture, or video you would like to share, my email is listed in my bio. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
Number 6.
Do y'all remember the audio of the guy that was screaming in North Carolina, "There's something in the bed of my truck, it's not human, it's not human"? Well, someone interviewed him, and I found the interview. I'm going to play some clips for you guys here.
The 911 call a couple of months ago, actually. And it's been a little bit of a challenge to get the sheriff's schedule, my schedule, and finally now we've got your schedule all worked out so that we can talk to you and get you to tell your story. Obviously, we're not going to share your name or your face. Totally understand that. But after talking with you, clearly your voice is the voice that's on that 911 call. So if you would, just start wherever you want to. We want to hear the whole story. Take as much time as you need.
I guess I'll start from the beginning of the trip. I was coming up from Florida to visit my family. At the time, I was going to a trade school down there, and when I was driving up here to where the incident occurred by the battlefield, it was already easily like well into the morning. I wasn't looking at my phone. I just know it was pitch black outside, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see the moon, stars, nothing, just barely the road through my headlights. And I had my window down because the AC wasn't working the best. And as I was coming around, there's a massive right curve right there before you cross the Black River. And then after that, you have the battlefield. So on that massive black curve, as I'm coming around, I had just started the curve and I was about a third of the way through it. And I look over into the ditch on my right because I caught a quick glimpse of something. And as I take a further look, it looks like there's I'd say probably a 30-something-year-old man standing in that ditch wearing what looks like an old Civil War uniform, just covered head to toe in blood. And the uniform was torn as well. That threw me off because I didn't expect to see it at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm calling 911 after I see him to report that, because for all I know, it could have just been a normal guy that was injured and needed emergency help. It looked like what had happened is he hit his head on something.
Okay.
And the blood was just pooling down over his face and torso.
Okay.
And well, as I was calling, everything seemed perfectly normal. Just quick phone call to 911, let them know, hey, there's a guy out here, and try to find somewhere safe to park so that way I can take them to him. Well, as you know from the 911 call, right as soon as I reported that, I already had my window up at that point. All of a sudden, I heard a massive bang on my truck, and my truck bounced down from the rear, like I was pulling a heavy trailer and I hit a pothole.
Wow. And
so I'm sitting there going, what the hell was that? Which I'm pretty sure you heard me yell, what the hell? I turned on my my bed light, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and all I saw was this white, like snow white face right up against my rear windshield. Like it was looking into my truck trying to see what it could see. It had shallow sunken eyes. It had no nose. Just think if you took skin and put it on a human skull and stretched it thin. Couldn't see any ears, just bad. And immediately I just started screaming. I didn't realize until afterwards that I had said that's not human on the call, because it was just the first thing I started screaming, because I was terrified. I didn't have my firearm with me, nothing. All I had was a wood splitting axe. So that's all I had. So, and my truck is loud as is, and it picks up speed fairly easily. Well, my truck at the time. It had a gas-powered 6-liter V8 Vortec on it, and it was a proper dual exhaust, hence why I had the window up, because that truck is nice and loud.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing in between like 55, 60 miles an hour when this happens, and I just stomped on the gas for a second. When I looked at the speedometer before I slammed on my brakes, I was doing maybe 80. And I slammed on those brakes with all my might, and I went from like 80 miles an hour down to like 35 in just like a couple of seconds. And all I see is super scrawny long body just fly over my truck in a ball rolling. And as I then swerve to the left and get back in the travel lane, and I floor it. And as I'm swerving to the left, I see it stand up, and it is easily taller than that truck.
No way.
I'm 5'10". The truck is about 2 inches taller than I am. And this thing was easily like maybe 7 feet.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I can hear it in his voice that he's telling the truth. You can tell he's still shaken up over this incident. I have tried to find pictures of his truck because he goes on to say that there are scratch marks in the hood of his truck. I have been unable to locate those. So if I get any more information, I will add that on later.
Okay, sometimes I come across stuff I feel like kind of fits the channel, but I don't really know how to work it in, so today I just shared some scary stories. Regardless, I hope you enjoy the content. I'm working on getting more out. If you do enjoy it, follow me on all my platforms, Instagram, TikTok, here. All that stuff's fantastic if you want to keep up to date with me. Thanks for watching. I'll scare you in the next one.